Hey, what's up guys? This is Justin Dunlap. I'm a videographer, photographer, filmmaker based out of Fort Worth, Texas. I went to a school very similar to you all, and I wanted to show you guys today what you could be doing to start your own business, or if you're interested in getting into a certain industry or a certain field, the things you could do. I went to Hurst Junior High, schools like LD Bell, schools like Dunbar High School, and also graduating from Eastern Hills. So you guys are probably familiar with some of those names, or probably have been to one of these schools, or probably went there yourself, or know some family that went there. So after high school for me was pretty much going to different jobs, working at different warehouses, or working at, grocery stores when I was younger, just doing stuff like that, and not really knowing what I really wanted to do with myself, just kind of having friends and having fun. But later on, as I got a little age on me, I decided to start trying out YouTube. So YouTube started for me wanting to do like comedies, making like little shorts, little horror films and stuff like that. And then eventually I came around with the idea like, what would happen if you started making like actual movies or films instead of just doing skits and having fun like I'm sure all of y'all probably do now. Growing up in Hurst was very fun, very friendly, lots of friends, always something to do, but it wasn't a whole lot of people being creative. And that's the blessing that you guys get now. You get to have the social media, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, and stuff like that, as far as getting inspiration or getting to see people do it and be entertained and create entertainment content, what we call it today. For me, coming up with shows and skits and stuff to do kind of stemmed from growing up watching cartoons and stuff like X-Men and it's the Avengers now that's hot, or even like scary movies, or just stuff that I found really funny. That helped me to do the show that I'm currently working on now, Last of the Force. So taking elements from Star Wars, using lightsabers, but creating my own story and adding like anime elements with like powers and making these people have their own character and personalities was very fun. And all of that stems from, watching stuff that you grew up on, that you were really into from back in the day. For me, for y'all, it's probably, stuff that you got now, like your Avengers and your Black Panthers and, all of that kind of stuff. But, that is inspiration for me. With the age group that you guys are at, what I would say for you to do would be to come up with some type of idea that you really want to do, that moves you, that kind of fires you up, and stick to it. Know that it's going to be challenging, and know that it may be harder to do, but give it a shot anyway. And even if it's not just that, experiment with other things that could help lead you to wanting to take on that challenge. You know what I mean? Putting your hands in different stuff and being like, hey, I gave this a shot, and actually stick to it and become successful with that particular thing. And that will help you when you get to the next stage of whatever you want to start to try to create, to stick with it and want to like push forward and see it come into fruition and see what happens as far as in making something really cool and making some really dope content. 2012, 2013-ish, started putting out videos from like horror characters and making like little spoofs and being funny and stuff like that. But I always kind of knew I wanted to create and make content. We really didn't call it that back then, but we were just putting out stuff to be funny and maybe put a smile on people's face. But now I do it to challenge myself, also to inspire people like yourselves, people, like me or like anybody, and also to entertain. Sometimes you have that in you, like your personality may be a funny personality, or you may have a drive to want to do something. So it's really hard for you to shut that off. So that, for me, became an outlet to a degree to try to make something that I would really want to see made. Last of the Force is the current show that we're working on episode 3. You can check that out on YouTube as well, at my YouTube channel, Just Jokes, We're Getting Money. When I'm not doing filmmaking, I'm a photographer, shooting events like weddings, quinceañeras, pretty much stuff like that. Models, any type of content that I'm really interested in shooting, we're also doing that. So I started my company to shoot events, but it has also drifted into doing filmmaking and meeting other creatives as well, and just collaborating with them into making film. The motivation to keep going on is to have something that you own, that I own, and want to continue to push, and work for yourself and have the ability to move to a degree how you want to move. So that's one of the motivations. The thing that I would say for somebody growing up, I would definitely say to, like I said earlier, pick something up, stick with it, and prove things to yourself that, you know, you can do things. So that's how I pretty much started, like motivating myself. You prove to yourself that you could do one thing, the next thing, and then you get that momentum, and it leads into like other aspects of your life. Starting off for you guys with it being the social media age, I would definitely tap into using sites like Instagram, the Facebooks, and the Snapchats to continue to push what you are able to create and let other eyes see that to get some traction. Because the more people see it, the more that your identity is known as that, and they know that you're the go-to person for whether that be content, whether that be like, hey, you're a photographer, makeup artist, whatever the case. So my advice would be to, whatever you post, let that be something consistent so you can gain traffic from that, and your identity is created from there, and people know that, hey, I know somebody that does this. So for those of y'all interested in getting into filmmaking, a few tips that I would give you would be to pick up a camera, start shooting with it, or just write some ideas and see if you could stick to that, or just, you know, come up from the just freestyle it, just shoot and see what you can come up with creatively. 2, start finding like-minded people that are interested in the stuff that you're interested in. Sometimes that can be motivating as well, and you can get your momentum from that. 3, find something you're really interested in and take it from there. Become knowledgeable at what you're doing. Become competent. So watch videos that inspire you to keep you creating. Things that you're interested in that you may be interested in doing. Always remember, any idea is not a bad idea. You can always create something from anything. And at the same time, you do not always need the best gear, best equipment. Just pick up something, use your phones, shoot, and you'll see things that seed start to be planted. I'm gonna get out of here because I know y'all gotta get to the next class. I don't wanna hold y'all for too long. Y'all got a pretty good teacher in there. I'm sure she's doing her thing. Miss Pabless, keep taking care of these kids. Dunlap Films for Instagram, Justin Dunlap on Facebook, Dunlap Films pretty much anywhere else. YouTube channel, Just Jokes Who Getting Money. Y'all have a blessed day and stay inspired.